need to take care of first.
What is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday and it is time for another Duel time. This is going to be a continuation of the video that I posted last Wednesday showing how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And kind of a run through. I found out I forgot some stuff, or I left it out because the video was getting too long. So let's jump in here and I'll show you what's up. Today I'm going to be explaining attack and defense in this first half of the video. The next half we'll see what happens. These two monsters have different attacks. This one has 2,000. This one has 1,900. If they attack, the person with the higher attack, of course, wins, and you lose the difference between them. So in this case, it would be 100. If two monsters like these attack each other and they have the same attack, both monsters die. And let's see. See this monster? He has 1,500 defense, and he has 400 attack. If this card was in defense and you attack with this card, because he has 100 less attack than this card's defense, you would lose the difference, but your monsters would still be alive. Next up, cards like Ancient Gear Golem here. It says it inflicts piercing damage. Some have longer wordings before they kind of came up with a term for it. Piercing damage basically means if your opponent's monster has a card in defense, if your opponent's monster is in defense, and I attack you with an attack position monster that does piercing, you do the difference between the attack and defense. So if I attacked you with Ancient Gear Golem and you had this card on the field, you would lose 2,500 life points out of 8,000. Once your life points drop to 0, you are done out of the duel and it's over. Or if your deck is reduced to 0 cards and you cannot draw, that is when you lose. But defense mode, you usually don't lose life points, but piercing damage will get you to lose life points. Another instance is cards like Uriza here. When he has certain conditions met, he can attack directly, meaning he doesn't have to mess with any other cards on the field, any other monsters. He can just go straight through and attack you for 1,000, as long as his requirements are met. A lot of cards that can attack directly need specific requirements to attack directly. Next, I'm going to be talking about some monsters that I left out in the last video. They can kind of get confusing. You have, let's see, you have level monsters, you have Gemini monsters, and you have spirit monsters. And you also have tokens. I think that's just about it for basic dueling. Alright, so this monster is a spirit monster. They're kind of an archetype of monster. Basically, they have a high attack and a good effect, but once you tribute for them, at the end of your turn, they return to your hand. So it's kind of like a one-hit retreating type of card. So, I have a friend that uses a water deck, and he can summon his really fast, and it attacks and just gets sent right back. Another kind of monster are level cards. As you can see, as turns progress, or you have a magic card that will allow you to move up, they get stronger and kind of have different forms of themselves. Almost like Pokemon, when your Pokemon evolves, becomes stronger. In this case, they are called level monsters. And there are only certain types of cards like this. There's not too many sets of leveling cards. Another type of card, let's see if I can't find one. No, come on. There are a lot of damn cards. These are the 3 cards that will allow you to level up your cards with those level cards easier, because it kind of takes a while if you're not using them to wait those turns to get your best monster out. Here are 3 really good ones. Horus. As you can see, there's quite a few different sets of them. This right here, this is another kind of monster called a Gemini monster. When he is first summoned to the field, he is a normal monster, meaning he does not have an effect. You have to summon him a second time, either through spell card, trap card, or waiting your next turn to summon another monster. You can summon him and he will get his effect. Same with Gemini Summoner here. There are more powerful cards that you tribute for and it gets normal monstered, and then when you tribute it, it comes back as an effect monster. So Gemini decks can be pretty effective if you know what you're doing with them. And they have pretty good support cards for Gemini monsters. Next I'm going to be, here are some more of the level cards. Armed Dragon is pretty infamous in this game. Let's see, where did it go? I saw it before. If you're a fan of the anime, if you've ever seen it and you've seen Joey Duel, you know he's played Scapegoat. These are called tokens, the card that this summons. They have a preset attack and defense and type, but they cannot be tributed most of the time as tokens, so I can't summon these 4 sheep tokens and then tribute them for a higher monster. But they're good for kind of getting in the way of getting attacked directly. So if I have no monsters and my opponent's about to attack me directly, I can play this card and summon 4 monsters. Sheep tokens, beast type, earth, level 1, attack 0, defense 0. In defense position. There are other tokens that have higher attacks and other magic cards or spell cards. Sorry, I'm old school, I say magic cards. Spell cards and trap cards that will actually give tokens really high attacks and defenses, but yeah, so tokens are kind of like stand-in cards. I'm pretty sure I went through every type of card. Just do a little double check really quickly. Oh, okay, here we go. We have forbidden cards, of course. These are kind of cards that people have exploited enough to make the game a little unfair. I'll show you some examples here. Take Pot of Greed. You just draw 2 cards. It has no negative effects on you. Destroys all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. It's a little OP because there's no cost to you whatsoever. There are monsters there. I think there's every type of card on this list in the game. And of course there are limited cards, semi-limited, and not limited. Semi-limited, you can have 1 copy of a card. Semi-limited, you can have 2. And not limited, you can have 3. You can only have 3 of the same copy of card in your deck. Your deck cannot go above 50 cards, and it cannot go below 40 cards. Your extra deck here is where your fusion cards and your XCs and your synchros go. It cannot go above 15, but you can have less. And your side deck is cards, in case you know your opponent has a certain type of card and you like to sub in other cards, kind of like in baseball when you sub a player. It's kind of the same thing, but your side deck has to have 15 cards, and you need to trade out the same amount for cards in your deck. It always has to have 15 if you have a side deck. It's not required, though, in dueling. And I believe that's it. I think I went through everything that I know of in this game. If I left something out, my friends out there that play Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, let me know in the comments or something, and I'll be sure to update the videos. Like and subscribe. Next week, on Wednesday, it will be a real duel time, and I will be getting back to dueling. I will be dueling Seto Kaiba in the finals, and hopefully I can beat him. He's pretty difficult. Like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you all next Wednesday. See ya.